Hey, Tunis. Sorry, just getting a few stat sheets up, but we'll be ready to go here right away. Ooh, this is going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. How was your day? My day is going okay. ET is currently a day. I got recording done. I got grocery shopping done today. And we got big thing today. We got big fun thing today that I think would be very fun for a 2-hour stream. I think it'd be a very good time for all of us to enjoy it. Actually, do we have a better version of this model? Do we have a better version of this model? Today I watched the new Jurassic Park for the second time. Pretty good movie. Good for you. I'm probably gonna go see the I'm hopefully gonna go see the new Superman movie. Apparently that's looking real good too. So, fun times ahead. Hey, Super Gamer. No mold today. It's just me. It's just my face. I hope my face doesn't disturb you guys. Yeah, we're just waiting for more people to come in. How it going? It go good. It go good. I thought we would have a little bit more of a fun stream today. A little bit more of a fun stream. I'm also getting something else up here quick. Just one second. Short uploaded. Yeah, that's right. I made a YouTube short. Considering Thousand Sons, Emperor's Children, World Leaders got nerfs, etc., I'm shocked that Death Guard didn't even receive any. They didn't receive nerfs. They didn't receive nerfs. What specifically happened was not nerfs. I'm going to cover this quickly. We're going to cover this quickly. Because they did not receive nerfs. They received very clear corrections to wording. So where's the FAQ? FAQ for World Leaders. So, jumping into this quick. Hey, TCOM.
What's up?
Gonna have a fun time. That's what's up. But first, we're gonna address.
I see that.
First, we're gonna address this quick. So, GW sometimes fucks up with its wording, and they need to be clarified. These are not nerfs.
I should mute your stream.
Probably a good idea.
There we go.
So these are not nerfs. These are corrections. Like, wording that is clarified. Because we had a few problems at the open that I was at where wording was not clear.
Or a rule just isn't working how they intended it, and it needs to be fixed.
Yeah, so these are not nerfs, these are just corrections. For example, Summoned by Slaughter. When any phase where the last model unit is destroyed before removing it from play, if that unit is a transport, any units embarked within that transport model must disembark first. I.e., this was not here. And so it led to a lot of questions of, when does this happen? Because if my guys aren't allowed to unload first, and demons pop up where they should be... Because, like, this thing is about, you can basically deep strike your bloodletters on top of that dead unit. This did not clarify what happens to the unit in transport. Does the unit inside disembark first? Or does the unit that, fuck! So...
I am here to fuck your day up.
Hello. So, like, does the unit... Basically, does the unit die? If I use this stratagem. My opponent, who's not charitable, would argue, yes, they fucking die. Because it wasn't clear on timing. Well, welcome to competitive chat, where, timing is everything. It's why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a fucking nightmare sometimes. Because one comma can fuck up all of your timing. Or one word, like one word, can fuck up your timing.
Yep.
Or it's not even a word or a comma that does it. It's the color of the card.
Yeah. Also, if the
Like,
bear's unit contains one or more icons of corn, as far as I'm aware, you can only include one icon of corn in a unit.
So is that changing then? Question mark?
I believe it's 1 per 10 in Jackals.
1 per 10 jackals? One sec.
I think.
We can check, because I actually do own the codex.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to just check the battle scribe. Goretrek Onslaught. Battle line. Battle line for Berserkers, then we'll grab some Jackals. For every 10 models, you can have an icon of corn. For Jackals. And then for World Eaters, Corn Berserkers can only get one icon, but they need to update it because the icon of corn does the same thing for both units. So yeah, So basically, it's saying like if you have two of them, each time you make a blessing of corn roll, yeah, they don't stack. This is basically what that's saying. This isn't a nerf. This is clarification. A nerf would be what they did to the Sisters of Battle before this recent update, where they fixed their goddamn rule. Because the whole thing about Sisters of Battle is that when our units die, we get miracle dice. And then they fucked us by saying, nah, it only procs once. It only procs once. And that hit Sisters so goddamn hard. Because our units die like flies, and we need that goddamn miracle dice. And it didn't help that the Grotmist detachment basically was like, hey, I hope you have miracle dice, after they nailed us in the nards. But yeah, no, these are not nerfs. Whenever
also,
there's...
Thousand Suns, remember to open windows.
Yep. Nerfs come in the balanced data slate. And as you can see, when we get down to them, Death Guard, yeah, they don't have any nerfs. But then we go down to World Leaders and Thousand Suns, the bottom. World Leaders, no nerfs. Thousand Suns, no nerfs. Even in the Minotaurum Field Manual, there are no point increases or decreases. The Greater Good got hit, as I knew it would.
I was about to say, weren't Tower on the chopping block?
Tower on the chopping block.
This feels like rule as it was intended rather than how they wrote it.
Yeah, it's rule. Because we were so confused. How did they fix this? Because I didn't read it.
The spotting unit can't also be shooting.
Good.
That's it.
That is how it should be.
Yeah.
That still feels like a nerf to what people were doing, but to the rest of us, it's like, oh, hey, thank you.
Yeah, so this fixes a problem that we've been having with Tau, where, like, all the army could spot for one another, and, like, you still get, like, the full firepower, and it really made units like the Pathfinder Squad no reason to take them. Hi, Mitsuki!
You have to roast a faction.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got it wrong. It's you can't choose something to be a spotter if it has already fired.
Oh shit, that's smart. But yeah.
So it's like you can't it can still shoot and it still gets a penalty because that's how the rule works. But you can't be like, oh well, now I need that other thing to shoot it, so this other previous unit of mine is going to spot for him, even though that's already fired.
Yeah. So. Shit's been fixed. But that's really the only nerf that came from this new data slate. They only hit Tau.
What does the Chaos Space Marine one actually affect? Because I don't know what weapon that's on.
That's Emperor Chainglaive with Lance. Has 5 attacks, 8 strength, AP -3, damage 3.
Is that the scuttling guy?
That might be the Lord Discordant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Lord Discordant.
Because that's a good weapon.
Oh, that's a very good weapon now. When you charge, it's strength 10. That shit's good. Mm-hmm. That makes me want to take him. Because I've seen...
That's taking down a knight in, like, one charge.
Yeah, that's killing a knight. But yeah, no, there wasn't any substantial nerfs. Then we have the drop pod that came out. They released new drop pod rules.
Good, and they're sensible.
Yeah, drop pod assault. This model must start in the battle reserve and can be set up in a reinforcement step of your first, second, or third movement phase, regardless of any mission rules. Any units embarked within this model must immediately disembark after a setup on the battlefield, and they must be set up more than 9 inches away from all enemy models. Each time a unit disembarks from this model after it has been set up on the battlefield, that unit is still eligible to declare a chart. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Yeah, they made drop pods very fun.
F
That's
Company
what I was
can go
about
in
to
drop
say.
pods.
That's what I was about to say.
Death Company can go in it. The Risen can go in it. Blade Guard veterans can go in it. This just made so many armies, like so many Space Marine armies better. I can
I'm
bet you
going
right
to
now,
buy it.
drop pods are sold out right now.
I can just
like
imagine
the
somebody pumping them full of Space Wolves now.
I also like the yeah, for the purposes of all measuring, this is what the drop pod is. It's the red bit.
Yeah, drop
Oh,
pods
so
look
the
kind of
gray bit.
evil.
They did lose they lost their Stormbolter.
Oh,
That's a shame.
oh, that's boo the fuck who.
I know. I agree.
mean,
They're terrain. They're
listen.
basically terrain now. They're essentially
50
a terrain piece now.
$50 a model though. Canadian
for
at
two?
least. Yeah, it's 100 for 2.
I think drop pods USD are like. Hang on, 1 second.
Listen, oh shit, no, Horus Heresy 3rd edition pre-orders come out this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck, I can't get these drop pods. Shit.
They have said that Saturnine is the new starter box, so it's going to be available for the full edition.
Sick.
So you're not going to have so you don't have to buy Saturnine at launch.
I want to buy Saturday Night at launch. I want to do a box review and everything.
I gotta be realistic. I want to convert those to models.
I just want my Iron Warriors. That's it.
So do you guys want to hate me? Because I just looked at my web store and I saw the price of drop pods for me.
What is it?
So 2 drop pods is $80.
$80 US? Yeah, it's £50 British.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will, you want to buy me
Thanks,
like
John.
3?
Hey, Will.
I'll send you my address, or you can ask TCOM. TCOM knows where I live. So does Farva.
You mentioned that, and all I can think is CCOM knows where both of us live, and that feels very threatening at times.
The problem is The problem is it'll actually cost me the difference to ship it to you.
Yeah, that's the joke. Don't buy me them. I can deal with it.
Yeah.
All right. So why are we actually here today, chat? Well, I had a fun idea, but the original idea I had would take a lot longer to cook and set up, and I would need help. But I can easily deal with these 6 idiots.
I died to the fucking world.
Beat the fuck out of Demon Angron even before he became a Demon Primarch.
Okay, adding context to that for both sides. One, for those who are like, oh, but he was wearing Hulkbuster armor.
Your Twitch.
Oh, your Twitch is down.
Stream crash.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your Twitch crashed.
My Twitch crashed.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're right.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Is my YouTube still up?
Let me check. Yes.
YouTube's still up. Okay. Well, we're gonna quickly fix this.
Twitch is back.
Oh, Twitch is back.
Oh.
Reload the page. Oh, okay.
I guess
Weird.
Twitch just had a hiccup.
Okay, interesting.
A Twitch hiccup.
All right, we had a Twitch
Sorry,
hiccup.
Twitchy.
It did the same thing. Okay. So, context, by the way, because TCOM is losing his damn mind. Perturabo did beat Angron in a straight up fight. Those on the World Eater side argue that he only did that because he had Hulkbuster armor. Like he had to have a handicap.
Demon.
Counter argument to both. One, this is after Perturabo was still feeling the effects of having his literal life force drained out of him. So he was walking around with the equivalent of a cane because of that. And two, the Hulkbuster armor put him back on equal footing.
Still beat the fucking brakes off of Angron.
Still beat the shit out of him. Either way, today We are arguing and seeing, out of these 6 with their current stats in modern 40k, who the fuck wins out of all these guys?
Okay, are we just doing stats or lore?
We're doing stats.
Okay.
Because in the fluff, it depends on the writer.
Yeah, I need to pull up Battlescribe them.
I have totally legal and distinct Battlescribe up to have all their stats ready. But something else that we're gonna do is that we're gonna decide these fights randomly. Because I'm an idiot.
Battlescribe doesn't want to work with right now. Doesn't want to download any of the data for the Primarchs. To Google I go. 40K.
All right. So, chat, my friends, there's an ad. I can't get the shit out of my face. All right, chat. So there was an ad on my fucking wheel.
Oh, I heard "sit on my face" for a second. I was like, huh?
What?
All right. So, ooh, that's not even showing up. Whatever. So, first up, we're gonna have Lionel Johnson fighting Gullyman. Alright, guess we just want to get this one out of the way first. Alright, chat.
Okay.
So, don't worry,
Lionel
I have
Johnson.
the board. I have the board set up for our epic confrontation. So, we have Lionel Johnson, Primarch of the Dark Angels, Primarch of the First Legion, versus Roboot Gullyman, Primarch of the Ultramarines, the 13th Legion. Alright. So, question is, how do I want to decide who goes
Having
first?
him immediately throw hands with Lionel Johnson.
Because I spun randomly.
Ah.
Oh, shit. Go back. Go back. Go back.
Special rules too, or just stat line?
Special rules too.
Okay.
I'm gonna drag them back here. I need dice. So that way people know I'm not cheating.
I think Lionel's gonna win this.
You think Lionel's gonna win this?
Yeah. A lot of Gilliman's are abilities and stuff. It is support.
I mean, yeah, there is the, one. You know, we'll get themed dice for all of them. How's that sound, chat? Oh god, there's two. Actually, Lionel Johnson can be argued that his armor's black, right?
Green and black.
I'll make the argument that he gets black, Mortarion gets green. Alright, so I'm gonna get the maximum amount of dice for each of them. So Lionel Johnson gets a maximum of 16 attacks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16. And then Gullyman? A max of 14. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12, 14. Okay. Drag these over to here, I guess. Alright.
They both have a 2-up save and 10 wounds.
Yep.
It's a wonder why no one likes Primarch fights.
Oh yeah, it's So
There's a lot of dice.
how we're gonna do this is that both Primarchs are gonna be able to shoot at each other once, and then I'm going to roll a d6, and it's going to be a evens or odds for either of them. So, whoever wins the roll there is decide who goes first in combat. The problem is, though, is that Fulgrim and Lionel Johnson have fights first, so that takes priority. So, Gilliman will be able to fire at him once with the Hand of Dominion, and then Lionel Johnson will be able to fire back, and then Lionel Johnson will fight first. So, Gulliman's Hand of Dominion has 4 shots, hitting on 2s. Son of a bitch. He would also probably choose the, oh god, none of his things actually help him.
He's commandy.
Yeah, he's commandy, so he doesn't get to reroll this.
Almost like I said that.
And he wounds Lionel Johnson on 5s and 6s. Alright, so that failed miserably. Now, Lionel Johnson responds with the Arma Luminis. Wait, he has 2 pistol profiles? Ooh, in this instance, he'd shoot the plasma pistol. So, he gets 2 shots, hitting on 2s. 2 hits. And then...
Oh, yeah, because he has that combi pistol, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. And he's also wounding Gulliman on 5s and 6s. He wounds Gulliman once with the Luminous Plasma Pistol. Gulliman has a 4-up invulnerable save, because this is going through his armor. So... Okay, Gulliman takes 2 points of damage.
First blood.
Yep, first blood to Lionel Johnson. Gulliman takes 2 damage. He's down to 8. And of course, now melee combat begins. Let's drag these 2 into melee combat. So, as I said, Lionel Johnson gets fights first. Wait, does he? Does he not get fight? Oh, yeah, here it is. Fights first. So, yeah, Lionel Johnson would choose Fealty. Well, choose a strike stat. So he gets 8 attacks. Hitting on 2s. And of course, he would allow himself to reroll hit rolls of 1. And wound rolls of 1. So then he takes these 2 hits. These 2 misses and rerolls them. Still missing 1. But he has lethal. So these 2 automatically wound. We do not need to roll those. And then we take these dice. And these are wounding Gulliman on 3s. And rerolling 1s. All wounds. So Gulliman has 7 4-up invulnerable saves to make. Oh boy, chat. I don't think Gulliman's getting out of this one. So 7.
He's a weak bitch.
Ugh. Oh god, my rolls are coming through here. Gulliman takes 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 damage. Now, the problem is, Gulliman can get back up. On a 3+, he gets back up. He does.
God damn, that fight was fast.
But he gets up with 6 wounds remaining, and I will allow him to swing at Lionel Johnson before Lionel Johnson gets to swing back. Now, he will be swinging at Lionel with the Hand of Dominion. So hitting on 2s, no rerolls. He hits Lionel twice. He gets lethal. And then wounding on 3s. No rerolls. Oh, wait, no. Wounding on 4s, because Lionel Johnson has a -1 to wound. So, we wound Lionel Johnson 4 times. And Lionel Johnson gets a 3-up invulnerable save? Wow, okay.
Shield.
Yep, the shield. And he takes 4 damage. Bringing Lionel Johnson down to 6 wounds. And then Lionel Johnson, of course, would respond in kind. 8 attacks. Hitting on 2s, rerolling. Auto wound. Reroll that 1. Misses. Wounding on 3s, rolling 1s. Four wounds to Roboot Gullyman. Gullyman now rolls 4 4-up saves. And bites it. Gullyman is knocked out.
Why do I feel like Gullyman's weak in this situation?
He's not... So, the difference between these two is that Lionel Johnson leads from the front. Gullyman leads from the center.
Yep. Almost all of his Gilliman's abilities are support related.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, why does it feel like Gilliman's just the punching bag in all the Primarchs?
Because he is. Technically, in the Horus Heresy, he never won a fight against any of his brothers. Which is kind of fucked up, but...
That's rough, man. Wasn't he technically the jack of all trades too amongst his brothers?
Yeah, but... Remember, he's a statesman, not a fighter.
Yeah, I'm looking at his abilities right now. Not a single one is offensive.
Yeah, all of them are support based. All right, Lionel Johnson, you get a break. Or we'll...
Primarch of the 13th. Everything, all infantry within 6 inches of the model will have +1 to their OC.
All right, so then we'll spin on and ignore Gullyman and Johnson for now.
Pairings?
Yeah, for pairings. I'm just gonna also get them off the list. Remove Gullyman. Remove Lionel Johnson. Leading to
I just feel like Gilliman's not gonna win a single fight.
I think he...
So that is Angron versus Fulgrim and
Well, we do have Fulgrim first. I'm spinning a wheel, by the way. This is randomized. So Fulgrim is next. So we drag him to the center of the board. Get over here, Fulgrim. And next up for Fulgrim... against Mortarion. Ooh, the fly versus the snake. All right. Interesting. So, we will have a loser's bracket, by the way, because we need someone to fight the champion at least. So, Fulgrim and Mortarion. Ooh. As I said, I will allow both Primarchs to shoot at each other first. Fulgrim has the Malefic Lash. So first we're going to get him his dice. Fulgrim has a max of 12 dice. Excellent. And then Mortarion has a max of 15. Oop. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, chat. Just getting shit ready here. Bring Mortarian's dice over here. Grab. Alrighty. So, I'm going to let Mortarian shoot at Fulgrim first. First with Lantern, his pistol. So, hitting on a...
Wouldn't Mortarian have first strike anyways on him? Do a distance?
No. Fulgrim gets fights first, but I said that's for melee. So, first we're going to shoot with Lantern, hitting on a 2. Hits. Wounding Fulgrim on a 3. Oh, wait, he would be within plague range. Still would only be wounding him on a 3. That wounds. Fulgrim gets a 4-up invulnerable save. Saves it. Tells Mortarian's pistol to fuck off. Then Mortarian gets the Rotwind ability, like Rotwind attack. D6 plus 3 shots for 8. Two extra dice. Actually, I should stream this on Discord for you guys, so that way you're not getting a delay. There we go.
You're not nuking your PC to do this for us, right?
No. Alright, so Rotwind. 8 attacks sitting on 2s.
Jeez.
All hit and has lethal. So we have 2 auto wounds so far. Now, wounding Fulgrim on 5s. And that's 4 devastating wounds. So Fulgrim, before combat begins, takes a very nasty hit of 4 wounds before anything else. So he goes from 16 to 12. And then Fulgrim has to make 2 armor saves at... Well, he has to make 2 invulnerable saves. Got it. 4 up. And he takes 2 more points of damage. Down to 10. Fulgrim then has the Malefic Lash. So, 6 attacks. Hitting on 2s. And then wounding on 5s. No rerolls. Oh, I should have... Fuck, I fucked that up. Oh, well. 2 wounds to Mortarian, who will be saving this on his invulnerable, of 4 up. Takes both. And he has a feel no pain of 5+, so he has to roll 4 more dice. And on a 5+, he ignores each point of damage. He takes all 4. So he, too, is down to 12. And then, melee combat. Fulgrim, of course, would choose fights first. And so, here's the interesting thing about Fulgrim. He gets 6 attacks. He would choose his 6 attacks against Mortarian. But then he also gets 6 more additional attacks after he swings with his demonic blades. Oh, Will's gone? Okay. So, Fulgrim is hitting on 2s, and he gets extra hits on hit rolls of 6s. So, rolling. No rerolls. Only hits 4 times. Okay. And then wounding on 3s. So, that's 4 wounds. Mortarion has to make 4 4-up saves. He makes 3, 1. So Fulgrim does, bring him down to 9. Fulgrim then, before Fulgrim can respond again, though, we get 6 extra attacks with the Serpentine Tail, hitting on 2s, wounding on 5s. No, wounding on 6s, because this is strength 6 and Mortarion's toughness 12. Nothing from the Serpentine Tail. Mortarion, of course, would choose Strike for his Silenced Scythe. Hitting on 2s. Holy shit, okay. 5 misses. Well, 4 misses. No lethal. Ooh. Dog is yelling. Dog is yelling. Wounding on a 3. Doesn't wound. Uh-oh. Alright, well, now the interesting effects for these two take place. So, Fulgrim. Is Mortarion poisoned? On a 4+, Mortarion will take D3 mortal wounds. Nope. Mortarion now. Since
on Fulgrim affected by Plague Rage right
he is
now,
he is affected by Plague Rage, and on a 3+, he takes D3 mortal wounds. He does. So, how much damage does he take, Mortarion? Fulgrim takes a full 3 points of damage. And of course, Fulgrim would choose to go first again in melee combat.
Of course.
So, we are swinging with Demonic Blades. All hit, and then wounding on 3s. 5 wounds. 5 4-up saves for Mortarion. Mortarion takes 2 wounds. So, then we do D6 plus 1. So, 6 and 2. So, 8 wounds. Ooh, Mortarion is down to 1 wound. And then Fulgrim swings with his tail. Five hits, wounding on 6s. 1 wound at AP -1. Mortarion has a 3+ save to make. I forgot about his Feel No Pains. He took 8 damage. I'll roll these separately. +5, he ignores it. Ooh, he is down to 1 wound. He is down to 1 wound. He was at 2, now he's down to 1. So, with Mortarion being down to 1 wound, this will affect his ability to smack. He is no longer hitting on 2s, he is hitting on 3s.
This will affect the local trout population.
This will affect the local trout population. So, in this instance, he would go for sweeping instead of just trying to smash Fulgrim. So,
I'd smash Fulgrim.
would you smash Fulgrim?
Like what? Would you?
No comment. 9, 14. I need 1 more dice. All right, so 15 attacks, hitting on 3s, 6s are lethal and sustained. I'm sorry, chat, my rolls are terrible for these guys. But now we're wounding on 5s.
Sounds like you haven't been worshiping the dice gods properly.
These two are cocked. Holy shit. 4 wounds. Fulgrim now has to make 4 4-up and vulnerable saves. And takes 4 damage. So he goes down to 3. Now, the problem is... the problem comes down to... Does Fulgrim kill him with poison, and does Mortarion kill Fulgrim with being near him? Because these would pop off at the same time. So, Fulgrim, do you poison him to death? No. Mortarion, do you make your brother throw up? Yes. But how much damage do you do to Fulgrim? Ooh! Ooh! 1-1 each. 1-1 each, chat. Oh, shit. Next up, 3rd round. These two going at it. Hitting Mortarion on 3s now. He does get sustained hits 1, so 4 hits. Wounding Mortarion on 3s. 2 wounds to Mortarion. But 6 extra attacks from the tail. 5 hits, wounding on 6s. Ooh, we got one more. We got one more in there. Can Mortarion save it on a 3-up? He does. And of course, Mortarion again would go for. Actually, I think he would try to go for the leaf. I think he'd try to go for the devastating. Just get Fulgrim out of here. So hitting on... But Fulgrim could die here. 3 4-up and vulnerable. Ooh! Fulgrim goes down. Leaving Mortarion on 1 wound. Good job, Mortarion. Holy shit.
Not really surprising for me.
Not really surprising. I was actually shocked that, Fulgrim did as much damage as he did. Alright, so now it's Angron versus Magnus the Red. Ooh, boy. My favorite Primarch. My favorite Primarch versus my best painted Primarch. This should be interesting. How's chat doing, by the way?
That's fine.
And that's where I have a question.
Steel has a question for you. Yeah.
Did Fulgrim truly try to poison Mortarion? Mechanically, that's what happened. Mechanically, yes, he did try to poison him. What have people been saying in the chat, though? Just curious. Also makes sense, seeing being a jack of all trades means you're not better than your brother at any specific thing they might use to win a duel against him. Yeah, so, like, Gulliman lost his fight because, like, he just has nothing to help him in combat, right? But we do have Magnus versus Angron here. So, Magnus has 2 shooting attacks.
Psychic powers?
Yep, psychic powers.
Well, I was asking, are you going to include those?
I have to, because they're his only, oh, like his actual psychic ability, army ability?
Mm-hmm.
No, because if that's the case, then I have to include, I have to include the benefits of Khorne.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Okay.
Because Angron then would steamroll everyone around. There's no one. There is physically no one who could beat him in melee if that was the case.
Yeah, because Angron has can get devastating wounds and lethal and sustained.
Okay.
So he would just steamroll all of his brothers instantly. And this is a fight between their stats and their abilities, not their army abilities. So, Gaze of Magnus, his first attack is 3d3 shots.
Welcome back, Will.
My internet decided to not die.
Oof. So, Magnus, of course, would also... Yeah, he'll choose -1 damage. Because he has to, nothing else really works against Angron. So we have 4 hits. Wounding Angron on 4s, actually, I think. Yeah, wounding Angron on 4s. And 6s are devastating, which means it goes through his armor. Bringing him down to 13. 7 shots. Hitting Angron on 2s. Ugh.
Only 3.
And wounding him on 5s. 2 wounds.
2 wounds. So he's down to 11.
No, these aren't devastating. And these are at 8 to -1, so Angron will get his 3-up save. And ignore both. And Angron doesn't have a gun. So he'll just get into combat.
Good thing he doesn't have a gun. Otherwise, I don't know how that would go.
Alright, this is where I need to roll the D3. Well, I need to roll a D6. So, evens is Angron, odds is Magnus. Magnus gets a swing first. So Magnus, of course, would choose to strike Angron, because holy shit, he's spooky. Spookiest lad. And Angron, for his ability, would choose... He ignores any and all modifiers to hit, so, yeah. Hitting Angron on 2s. Alright. So we hit all that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good to know. Wounding him on 3s.
So...
Holy shit, Magnus!
Agnes got everything through.
Yep, he got everything through. That was a 6. Even worse. Angron's just gonna take 9 damage straight. So...
He's at 4.
Yeah, he's at 4. And he still has to save 4 attacks on his own. 4 saves on 4 up. And Angron dies. Oh.
For participating.
Thanks for participating, buddy.
Ah, yes, when Magnus actually rolls well.
I'm curious, though.
Yes.
Probably.
We're gonna roll this out. We're gonna roll this out, chat. I know Magnus did win. But we're gonna roll. Hitting on 2s. All hit. And then wounding on 3s. Magnus would take 2 of these. So, Angron would do 2d6 plus 2 damage per. 4 and 5, he would do 9 damage to Magnus. So a major problem here between Angron and all of his brothers, really, is that his brothers get a chance to shoot him before he makes it into melee combat. And if his brothers charge him before he gets to charge them after they soften him up with shooting, he's going to die. Don't get me wrong, Angron's going to fuck them up if they get into combat with him and he survives, but he's most likely losing most engagements because they get to shoot at him first. So we have 3 losers and 3 winners. Which means now that 2, 4, 6. So, who will be fighting who in the next round? First up, Magnus versus... Not Magnus. Lionel Johnson. Ooh.
Come on, let Magnus fight Magnus.
Let Magnus fight himself. What Kairos Fate Weaver bullshit is this? Alright. Magnus versus Lionel Johnson. Ooh, baby boy. So, Lionel Johnson. He will shoot with his plasma pistol. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds into Magnus to start.
The war in Ukraine changes
what the
lives
fuck?
in a second.
Shut up. Shut up, you fucking sight. Magnus saves on 4+. Ooh, Magnus takes 1 damage each, because of course he would choose -1 damage. So, Magnus goes from 16 down to 14. Don't. Magnus then responds in kind with, of course, his Gaze of Magnus attack. For 7 shots. Hitting on 2s. And then wounding on 3s. With a wounding on 4s. He's -1 to wound because of the shield. So, 2 wounds, 1. So he's down to 7. And then he has to make 1 invulnerable save. I have 3 up. Which he doesn't, so he takes 3 more damage. Down to 4. Then they get into combat. Bitch. Lionel Johnson, of course, will choose to lethal. Will choose his strike attack. Because it's the best way to hurt him. 8 attacks. Re-rolling. With fights first. With 4 of his attacks being lethal on Magnus. Then wounding Magnus on 3s, rerolling 1s. 6 wounds on Magnus. So Magnus will have to make 6 4-up saves. Ugh. 6, 9, 12. Yeah, no, Magnus is dead. That plasma pistol getting through just killed Magnus. Oof, buddy. Oof.
So it seems like the lion is winning more than he's losing.
Yeah, he's winning a lot.
Well, again, this is what he does.
This is what he does.
One-on-one combat.
Yeah, but we'll see if he can break through the girth of Mortarion.
Please don't say girth and Mortarion in the same sentence ever again, please.
We'll see if he can break
Listen,
through.
we know he's girthy. Leave it.
We'll see if he can break through the toughness that is Mortarion. All right, Lionel Johnson taking his pistol, firing into Mortarion, hitting on 2s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. No wounds from Lionel. But then we have Mortarian's Lantern hitting on a 2. 3 extra shots. For 4 shots. Holy shit. Okay. He was saving the Lantern for Lionel. Wounding Lionel on 4s. Because that -1. Alright, Lionel with a 3-up invulnerable. He will take 3 damage, bringing him down to 7. And then we got Rotwind. For maxing out his shots at 9 shots. He is popping off with these psychic powers. Holy shit. So, hitting our boy, Lionel Johnson on 2s. Wounding Lionel Johnson on 5s. It's cock 3. So Lionel Johnson has 3 wounds to make at AP -1. And then he takes a point of damage. Bring him down to 6. So then we have 3 saves to make at a 3-up. Cock 6. Saves it. Alright. Into melee combat you both go. Of course, Lionel Johnson goes first. With his 6 attacks. No, his 8 attacks, sorry. Sorry. Learn the stats, announcer. Holy fuck. Hitting on 2s, rerolling. All hit, no lethal. Wounding on 4s. Rerolling 1s. And no 1s to reroll. Okay. Mortarian has to roll 4-up invulnerable. Takes 8 damage. Oof. But does he stop? How many points of damage does he stop with his Feel No Pain of 5+? Ooh, he stops half. Mortarian then responds in kind. Ooh, actually... Ooh. In this instance, would a Mortarian player choose to swing at Lionel Johnson with sweep, or would he continue with strike? Because Lionel Johnson is now -1 toughness, making him toughness 8.
Sweep.
Yeah, he would choose sweep.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg!
Take out his knees!
He has 15 attacks.
Never fight fair. Always go for the balls, knees, and eyes.
Alright, 15 attacks. 15 attacks, hitting on 2s. Reroll this. And he gets 4 sustained hits. And then wounding our boy on 4s. And he had 4 auto wounds in there. Sorry. Even though those 4 auto wounds did generate 4 additional hits. So I'll take these. Still, that's 1 fail, 2 fail, 3 fail, 4 fail, 5 fail, 6 fail. So we'll just count the successes. 1, 2. Ooh, he didn't succeed that well. On top of the 4, he only got 7 wounds into Lionel Johnson. But this could be enough to kill him. Because he only needs 3 wounds to get through. Ooh. Lionel Johnson goes down. Mortarion is at the top.
Wow.
Ooh, that -1 to his toughness really hurt him.
Question, and where this is not in the spirit of the experiment.
Yeah?
How many points is Mortarion?
Mortarion right now sits at 380.
Okay.
My-
Lionel Johnson is around 200. I believe.
Lionel Johnson is 315.
Oh, okay. No, they ignore me.
He's actually cheaper than Gulliman by 5 points.
Okay.
Bullshit.
I thought he was cheaper. Like I thought he was cheaper, and I was like, would you not? In a game, would you not like have this fight where it was like Mortarion versus Lionel Johnson and his Blade Guard, like, or his Risen?
Inner Circle.
Yeah.
I see most. The problem is that Lionel Johnson can't join a squad. He gets lone operative when he's standing around people.
Okay.
Still doesn't mean you can't use units as bodyguards.
All right, so Mortarion.
Because the thing that screwed him was the ranged attack.
Oh yeah. Hello. Has Gulliman even beat any other Primarch in current 40k without the help of the Emperor, like with Morty?
Nope.
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 He fought Angron before Angron ascended to demonhood, and even then he got fucking torn a new asshole. Speaking of... So, we now know Mortarion is the top dog. Do we wish to have all the losers fight Mortarion that hadn't fought him already?
Yes.
So that would be Gulliman, Angron, and Magnus.
I mean, that's only fair
That's only fair, yeah.
when it comes to a fight.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll roll randomly to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Angron, get up here. Oh boy, is this going to be a repeat?
I mean,
Probably.
yes, but that's again because Angron doesn't have ranged attack.
Yeah, but he doesn't have... Mortarion doesn't have the same amount of ranged output as Magnus does. So, Mortarion firing. Hits. Wounding on a 5. Doesn't wound. Then his Rot Wind attack, d6 plus 3. 6 attacks. Hitting on 2s. Ugh, okay. Then wounding on 5s and 6s? Yeah, 5s and 6s. No
Yes,
wounds.
Rotwin, those psychic powers that totally are not psychic powers, apparently, according to Tarion.
I'm not a psyker, fuck off! Alright, who starts this off?
I'm not a psyker, Dad. I'm not like you.
Evens is Angron, odds is Mortarion. Angron gets to swing first. Alright, Angron. He is swinging with his strike stat. So he gets 8 attacks. Hitting on 2s, all hit. Wounding on 3s. 6s are dev. So he gets 1 dev wound through. And then Mortarion will have to roll 5 4-up invulnerables. Ooh, he takes 4. Okay, Angron, how much damage do you do to Mortarion? So we have 5d6 going in. So that is 16. 16. 22. 25. 30 wounds into Mortarion. Mortarion now has to make 35 up feel no pains.
I don't think he's making it.
I don't know either. I don't know what's gonna happen here. There were 16 in this pool, so I need 14 more. 4.
Also, thank God for rules changes, meaning you don't have to do these individually.
Oh yeah, that would be a nightmare. All right, chat. We're gonna roll this over here. Will Mortarion survive? It's a 5 up, feel no pain. 1, 2. He needs to save 15 of these to survive. Cocked.
I don't think he's gonna make it, Chad.
I don't think he's gonna make it, chat. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah, so close. Mortarion does lose to Angron in melee combat. But now, since Mortarion did win his rounds, would he have been able to kill Angron if he had gone first? Gotta check that too. So, Mortarion gets 5 attacks, because he would... Angron's at full health. He would choose to strike him. Because these are devastating wounds as well. Hitting on 2s. 2 lethal hits. Wounding on 3s. 6s are dev. Nope. 2 fail. And... Angron gets a 4 vulnerable. Angron would take 2d6 plus 2 damage. Ugh. Mortarion would not have done enough damage to kill Angron. So, it's definitive that Angron could have beat Mortarion in melee combat. So we'll put him here. Alright, odds for Magnus, evens for Gulliman. Gulliman up next. Oh boy. Gulliman firing.
Okay,
Good luck, buddy. Hitting on 4, hitting on 2s. On 5s.
the field is like, just go and do your best.
You got this, Gulliman. Do your best. All
I'm
right.
proud of you.
Lantern hitting on a 2. Wounding on a 3. Wounds. Gulliman saves on a 4. Yes. Gulliman takes 2 damage. Actually, how much damage did Lantern do? Lantern does 3. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, Gulliman. You're going from 10 to 7. And then they go into combat with each other. Oh, wait, nope. We have Rotwind. Might be. So Mortarion does 4 shots. Get that dice out of here. Hitting on 2s. So he gets an auto wound in there. And then he wounds on 5s. 1 wound into Gulliman, saving on a... Saves with a 6. So, goes into combat. Who goes first? Gulliman or Mortarion? Shit, I didn't say evens or odds. Evens, Gulliman, odds, Mortarion. Mortarion goes first. Oh god, this is gonna be a repeat. He's gonna get spanked. Hitting on 2s. Gets an auto wound in there. And then wounding on 3s. And a dev wound in there as well. So Gulliman takes d6 plus 1 to start. And dies. Does Gulliman get back up on a 3? Yep. He gets back up with 6 wounds remaining. Did I say you could flip? Fuck you. Get over
I
here.
want you to know, we just, per lore, for the books, just relived Gilliman getting dropped by Mortarion only to get back to his feet.
Yeah, so can he make legends happen again with the Hand of Dominion?
Yeah.
Can he?
Hand of Dominion hitting on 2s.
Yeah, stop being a bitch. Just do it.
5 hits. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds into Mortarion. Saving on 4 up. Ooh, Mortarion takes 2 wounds. And he takes 8 damage, so we have to roll these. So 8 5-up saves. Ooh, but he stops half.
Mortarion takes 4 damage. Okay.
Yeah, so he loses this. Because he has...
He's down to 9.
Yeah, well, no, he starts at 16, so he's down to 12. Because he didn't take any damage from the Hand of Dominion. And now Mortarion gets to swing again. Hitting on 2s. Gets a lethal. Wounding on 3s. And devastating wounds Gullyman, which would probably kill him. Yeah, we'll roll that damage. Yeah, Gullyman's dead.
Nope, he can swing hard enough.
He cannot swing hard enough, no. Alright, Magnus, get over here. The true fight. Magnus versus Mortarion. Alright, Magnus. 3d3.
Are the enemy parrying 40k?
Yep. 7 shots. Nurgle wants it. 7 shots hitting on 2s. Alright. And then wounding on 5s. Oh, shit. Oh! Magnus popping off, doing 2 devastating wounds. So Mortarion now has to save on 3 4+ saves. Ooh, so he takes 9 damage. So, 5, then 4 more. He takes 2 points of damage. Holy shit, Mortarion.
So Mortarion is the tankiest son of a bitch.
I'm also just
for
rolling
Primarch
good.
so far.
I'm also just rolling really good. Like, statistically, I don't know what the statistics are. Then we
You shouldn't
have...
have been passing this many 5-ups. Yeah, you shouldn't have been passing this many 5-ups.
Yeah, I should not have been passing that many 5-ups. Statistically. So we have d6 plus 3, so 5 plus 3 is 8. Hitting on 2s. And then wounding on 6s. Ooh, 6 wounds. At AP minus 1. So 6 3-up saves for Mortarion. Ooh, takes 2 damage. 5 up. Takes that 2 damage. Then Mortarion with his shots back. Hitting with Lantern. Miss. D6 plus 3, so 7 shots. Nurgle wants it. Is the science flawed, chat? Probably. Hitting on 2s. Reroll this 5 because it's cocked as fuck. So, we do get sustained hits. So he gets an additional shot. And it's a lethal. So, there's 1 wound standing around. Wounding Magnus on 5s. So, we have 5 wounds to save for Magnus. Well, no, we actually have 1 wound to save, 2 wounds to save for Magnus. On a 3-up. What the fuck? Okay, we're counting that as a save. Fuck you. And then Magnus takes 3 damage. Who's raiding me? Oh, not Gaffy. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah. Thanks for the raid.
Oh, it was a raid? No, it wasn't a raid. It was a follow.
Oh, I thought you said it was a raid.
No, I thought it was a raid.
How dare you?
Steel, what was your question, by the way? Like, I acknowledge it, but you haven't asked it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Alrighty.
what a wild question for me to go back to looking at Twitch chat for.
Do you think Mortarion keeps his cheeks seasoned? No.
Yes.
Alright,
Well, you're obviously wrong.
evens for Magnus, odds for Morty. Morty swings first. He's gonna strike Magnus, hitting on 2s. We have a lethal in there. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds into Magni. So 4 up invulnerable saves from Magnus the Red. Can I get that dice in there? Thank you. 3 saves, 1 fail. So Mortarion does d6 plus nothing because Magnus subtracts by 1. So, then by 5, so that would bring him down to 7. And then Magnus would strike back. I find it really weird that, like, Mortarion has 5 attacks when striking, but Magnus has 7. We have 6 hits. Wounding on 3s? Ooh, 3 wounds into Mortarion. Saving on 4 up. Takes 2 more points of damage. Down to 10. And we're back to hitting again with the scythe. Ooh, 2 lethal. We got 2 lethal in there, chat. And then wounding on 3s. 4 4-up saves for Magnus. Ooh, this could kill him, chat. This could kill him. It's 3d6. That will kill Magnus the Red. Aside from Angron getting into melee combat with Mortarion, yeah, no, Mortarion is technically the best Primarch out of all of them, stat-wise right now.
In a 1v1 fight.
In a 1v1 fight. This is not assuming anything else.
If this happens, then this.
Yeah. And Angron's stats have been changed to reflect that he should be murdering stuff like these guys. But if he's going up against Lionel Johnson or Fulgrim, these two get to strike first and have the potential to just pop him in one turn. Like you saw, as we have seen. But like,
those sort of so, I have to admit I have always sort of seen Angron as more of like a squad killer.
Yeah. So I guess like right now, stat wise, Gullyman did not win a single fight. So I think right now it goes Mortarion, Lionel Johnson, Magnus the Red, Angron, then Fulgrim, then... yeah. Then Gullyman.
I think if they ever do bring Pertrabo to 40k, he's going to be very much like Gilliman, very much support.
I actually think he might be more of a sniper.
That too. You can do that.
Or like something like an Obliterator, where he's like, I don't want to be in melee combat at all, I just want to be shooting shit. So yeah, Mortarion is top dog. That's interesting.
I like the idea if they did do like Perturabo, that like he has like the Primarch like 3 abilities thing, but you roll for it because even he doesn't let you, even you don't get to know what his plan is.
I think that'd be funny. So yeah, there is a reason why I didn't allow army abilities to proc off. Because, one, Guilliman would get +1 to wound inherently because of Oath of Moment. And with how we were doing these challenges, Fulgrim just wouldn't get his army ability at all because it just allows him to fall back and shoot. Like, fall back, shoot, charge. But he couldn't do it to the same unit, so if he charged into any of these guys and then pulled back, he wouldn't be able to fight them again. Just allowing them to get a pot shot off on him for free. I'd have to roll 8d6 for Angron. And it would either give him sustained, lethal... He already gets Dev. It wouldn't really help him either. Magnus, Magnus doesn't get his psychic abilities because, like, that's just, hey, I'm gonna hit you with rerolls, then I'm gonna hit you with -1 AP, then I'm gonna hit you with, D3 mortal wounds. Hey, boss, do you think you could do the same with Chapter Master and the first captains at some point? Oh, no, don't worry! I plan on doing this with every character in Warhammer 40k. We'll have the
Custodes numero uno.
We're gonna do a big tournament, chat. We're gonna do a big tournament where we take all the characters, the non-monster, non-Primarch characters in 40k, and pit them all against each other. But we're gonna find out who's the best of each faction.
Kryzen Swarmlord.
Kryzen Swarmlord. Don't worry, we'll have something for monsters. We'll have something for monsters. Primarchs are just unique in the way that they are, that they get their own tournament.
By what he means by that, Will, is basically everything else is just gonna be its own little round of rosy.
Yeah. What Primarch do you have? I currently own Magnus the Red, Angron, and Roboot Guilliman. With the hope of getting Fulgrim later. In Horus Heresy, how do you think the rankings would differ? Oh, Horus at the top. Horus is number 1. And then it depends. Like, whoever is below Horus, it highly depends on who it is and what they're wielding.
I was going to say, like, you could have actually expanded this by adding in Be'lakor and Abaddon.
I could have, but at the same time, Abaddon stat-wise doesn't add on to a Primarch. And Be'lakor, I feel, is more of a monster. Not a Primarch.
Demon.
Yeah, demon monster. So like he's on par with Scarbrand and all of them. Which, don't worry, chat, we will do the monster fights. We will do like Knights don't get to participate, sadly.
Talamon Dreadnought. Custodes Talamon Dreadnought.
Talamon Dreadnought isn't a character.
Canis Rex should be able to fight in the monster one.
Oh, he should be able to fight in the monster one?
Yeah, because GW are fucking cowards and won't give me a named Dreadnought.
By the way,
I want Santones, damn it.
I was gonna say, that's a good point. Where does Bjorn get to fight?
Ooh, that's actually a great
Bjorn
question.
fights with the monsters.
Yeah, I'm gonna
sorry.
put him with the monsters.
Like
Walkers?
anywhere else, he just kind of looks at them and goes, "You know, your existence was nice and all,
Yeah,
but I deny it."
Bjorn gets shuffled off into the monsters because he's a walker, along with Murderfang.
Okay.
So, like, we'll do a tournament where it's all the Space Marine characters versus each other. Will I stream, like, the individual chapter characters going up against each other? I feel like that would bog it all down.
He's realistically going to have us sitting in call while he goes through it, and then you guys are going to get the highlights.
Yep.
Either way, it's a fun idea, and I really wanted to do this. Which then begs the question, like, I'm trying to figure out who is the best character overall in each category. So out of the Primarchs, right now, for 10th edition, it is Morty. But then, who's the best character option out of all the named characters in 40k? First, figuring out who's the best in their faction, and then going out of the factions and into a battle royale system. Why are the Demon Primarchs bigger than the others? Because when you ascend to Demonhood, you, like, quadruple in size.
You become literally part of the warp.
Yeah.
On top of that, something that a lot of people don't realize when you become a Daemon Prince is the energy you're being pumped full of has to go somewheres.
Yeah. If you're
It's
asking,
not just...
if you're asking about model-wise, though, Mortarian's model to look like he's flying. This is the model I used for Fulgrim is Fulgrim Ascended, but Fulgrim Ascended uses the same base size as Fulgrim in 40k, so it didn't really matter. Angron, he should be a lot taller, but the fucker is hunched. He is hunched the fuck over.
Mind you, he's still as tall as Magnus while hunched over. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, but he's also standing on a platform.
Yeah.
If it
Also
was that,
controversial opinion. Don't like his heresy model.
Angron's?
Agrons?
Yeah, I don't like it.
By the way, did Be'lakor have anything to do with the Horus Heresy? No! Be'lakor
No.
was not present for it.
Didn't really care about it. That was a human thing to him.
Yeah, he only got involved when Abaddon was crowned War Master.
Because there was profit to be made.
No, it's in that
No,
case
it's
because... It's because originally, Horus didn't get Draknien, and Be'lakor only comes out to the guy who got Draknien. He only follows that guy. Because
Ah.
Chaos told him. Draknien is basically the crown of the Ever-Chosen in fantasy.
It's literally the same sword that Archeon has.
Really?
Yes,
Yep.
Archeon's sword is called the Slayer of Kings. It's Dracnia.
It's one of the reasons they separated any ties between fantasy and 40k.
Yeah, because how dare a sword exist in two fucking places at once?
Mm-hmm.
Like
We've got time traveling orcs, but God forbid.
Urgurg,
Yeah,
who do
pretty
you...
much.
Urgurg, who do you want me to roast? What faction do you want me to roast? Oh, this is a nice table. I like this table. I think the line of sight is a fucking monster here. This is a nice table, chat. By the way, chat, like, look at this table. Does the word bearers count? Yeah, the word bearers can count. Alright, a good roast for the word bearers. Good roast for the word bearers.
A bunch of nerds who bitch to daddy every time they lose.
That's not a roast, though. That's just an insult.
It can be two things.
What
Nope.
happens when you burn down the weird kids Bible camp?
You get Magnus.
No, I mean like Lord
Oh,
Gilliman burned it down.
no. No, this time Gilliman's not the boy. You said the Weird Kids church camp. Gilliman burnt down their church.
So let me get this straight. Lorgar, you out of the guy who you wanted to kick the shit out of Dad from. Good job, buddy.
Something I do want to point out that has come to my mind over and over again is if the Primarchs really did start throwing hands at the start of the heresy, realistically, at least half the Primarchs pretty much would have just been fuck all useful in the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
'Cause
of
you
the-
have people like
They're-
like Agron, for example, who you can't get close to in order to assist in the
But-
fight. He's just going
Yeah,
for blood.
There's an interesting argument about like, okay, what was Horus's plan? Because like he sends the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, and the Ultramarine. He sends Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, and the White Scars basically to the far corners of the galaxy. He is planning to send the Word Bearers to deal with the Ultramarines on Calv. And the plan is on Estevan 3, they'll wipe out all their loyalists and then they'll just move on. Estevan 5 is never meant to happen, according to like his plan.
No, Estevan 5
So
is supposed to happen. They were just hoping that the Iron Hands would join them.
And that Horus had more time to fortify.
Yeah.
To fortify it, yeah. Okay. But like, so he doesn't know that the Imperial Fists are going to get becalmed in the warp. He doesn't know that Ferris is going to act the way he does because he's pissed off about Fulgrim. So what was his plan for dealing with the Iron Hands?
Murder.
At that point, it would be he would have to fight them off. The problem is that after book 3, we do not get Horus's we don't get Horus's view of
Perspective.
things until we go to Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah.
And
by that point, he's kind of going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
yeah, that book literally has him go into the warp and become get his soul fucked with. We don't know what his plan was. It's clear he had one, but then it kind of went all over the place.
Yeah, because Saul Tarvitz was too good a commander and Angron was too impulsive.
Yeah. It also
and in Horus's own words, he got the shit brothers.
yeah, he God, his lamenting to the skull of Ferris Manus says a lot.
It's very Macbeth.
Well, he's like,
Very Macbeth.
he's like straight up like I wish my rebellion was like you and Gilliman and like people like that, and he's like, I didn't want it to be these people because they're all shit.
I don't want it to be Angron and Conrad. I wanted the competent brothers.
Mm-hmm.
it's
I
just
wanted Gulliman, Lionel Johnson, Ferris Manus,
No, he got one competent brother.
Perturabo.
Perturabo.
I argue
Yeah,
he got.
who he puts in
Though
charge and then immediately discards.
I will say though, when it comes to the Battle of Terra, kind of ignored Perturabo until Perturabo got so fed up he just left.
He got fed up because he got pushback from Abaddon.
Yeah.
And Perturabo was like, you fucking talking to me, you insignificant pleb? Who got his ass kicked by a bunch of fucking failures? I'm out of
Well,
here.
It's not just that, but also his brothers. Mortarion wasn't really doing anything. Fulgrim had just fucked off and refused to interact with anybody else.
Oh yeah, and then there's Angron, where it's just like, I can't deal with this murder missile.
I can't. I have to plan around him. I can't include him in my plans.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Like the only people who were willing to work with him were the Sons of Horus, and half the time they were just backstabbing each other.
But yeah, someone did ask, why did they separate Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k?
I swear.
Because genuinely, they want both to be separate, and it gets really confusing for newcomers.
Also, they got rid of Warhammer Fantasy. People forget that.
Yeah, they straight up nuked the universe.
One of the things I like to bring up whenever somebody asks this type of question is they're two entirely different universes and themed very differently. And also the stories. Because you did originally have some crossover between the two. But the problem is, making those crossovers work and make sense was almost impossible.
Yeah, plus, like...
It was usually like a cheeky wink and a nod kind of thing.
Yeah. Like what was it? The reference to the Grey Knight in
one
Nurgle's,
story.
Nurgle's Forest or something.
There's also so they had a Warhammer Fantasy campaign called Dark Omens, which was about all the Warhammer Fantasy armies trying to launching expeditions to the island of Albion, which is the Warhammer Fantasy Old World version of Britain. Basically, it's a wet and rainy island filled with druids. And at the end and the idea was they were trying to find ancient treasure and also stop like a big chaos ritual thing happened. What the chaos ritual actually did in Warhammer Fantasy is it introduced Be'lakor. That's where Be'lakor came from originally. And at the end of that, they published a thing in White Dwarf, which was basically like, right, so these armies are the ones who succeeded in their objectives during the campaign. So these are the treasures of Albion that they get as you can now include these in your Warhammer Fantasy armies as magic items for your characters. You can just do that.
Yeah.
And so like the high elves got a mysterious mysterious metallic claw with that had blades that extended from the back of it and was charged with an etheric energy. The dwarves got two treasures because they did really well. They got a strange firearm that was like explosive, and I think they also got a chains. I think they also got a chainsword as well. And like, the dark elves got a power sword.
Nice.
And it was just like, yeah, because like the thing that they ended up encountering was like a drop pod essentially. That was like the. But it was like this ancient relic or something.
Another reason, like, explaining the Warhammer Fantasy ended at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Its entire universe got nuked. Chaos won, Archaon and Sigmar fell into the void fighting for the Warhammer. Like, the literal Warhammer of their universe.
John Warhammer.
John Warhammer. And...
He was actually called Harry. No, seriously.
I know.
Was a canonical Harry Hammerstorm.
Yeah, Harry Hammerstorm, or now known as Harold Hammerstorm.
Yes,
I know.
Apparently having Harry was too silly.
So
yes, a Harry Hammer.
So, when Warhammer Fantasy blew up, because that is what happened in their story.
Yep.
It rebooted the universe into Age of Sigmar. which was essentially Warhammer Fantasy's Crisis on Infinite Earths. It rebooted their universe. And then that cut off the 40K, and like that made both of them separate. That made 40K its own thing, that made Sigmar its own thing. Because at the start of Age of Sigmar, didn't Slaanesh get captured by the elves?
Slaanesh is just missing at the start of Age of Sigmar because, right, that's the slight revisionist history that GW puts out about this. They ended Warhammer Fantasy. They were not intending to make any other fantasy game at that point, but there was outrage that they had ended Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah.
From like their player base, and they were like, "Yeah, but you didn't win it. You didn't like buy enough of it, and also like 40K has always been more popular in America, and that's actually the reason why it's like the highest selling one is because it's way more popular in North America than Fantasy ever was."
GW also said, and I find this funny, if you want fantasy, go play the Middle Earth one.
Yeah.
They didn't say exactly like that, but they might as well have.
The reaction to that was wild.
Yeah. Like, partially I agree and I see where they're coming from when they say that. But they completely misread their audience.
It's a very business sensible move, but at the same time, read the fucking room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be a very business sensible room if it wasn't made by their at time CEO, who basically took the company to within 6 weeks of bankruptcy.
Yeah, like that's another problem.
Yeah, they needed to cut costs and cut them now, which was the issue.
So, yeah, that's why they're separated now. There's no in-lore, like there's no in-fluff reason for it. 40K just stopped acknowledging it.
Yep.
And Age of Sigmar goes, what?
What?
And now Old World is back, so does that mean the connections to 40K are back? No.
Nope.
They're
cheeky with it.
They're cheeky with it, but they're not gonna... A tongue-in-cheek reference here and there does not make both universes, like, connected again.
Yeah, they literally say that, like, the old ones arrived on the old world via a etheric web through the space between planets. Like, it's, like, okay, I get what you're referencing. You're not saying webway, but you're saying webway.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the story. Wasn't it also because Horus just refused to bomb them into oblivion? He didn't refuse to. During the Battle of Istvan 3, he learned that the loyalist elements of the Traitor Legion survived, and he was just like, ugh, nuke them again. But then he got a report saying that Angron went down to the planet with the World Eaters. And
yeah,
at first, he raised his claw like, I don't fucking care, nuke them anyway. But then stopped himself because he understood that getting his warriors used to fighting other Marines would be extremely helpful.
Oh, yeah.
It also helped them develop tactics in order to do it, because again, none of them actually know how to kill other Space Marines.
At this point.
Yeah, and remember, Space Marine on Space Marine warfare was extremely rare, and most of the Legions thought it would never happen. The only time in canon that it happened was... Oh, the only one written down is the Space Wolves versus the World Eaters. That was the only time.
Night of the Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably happened during the genocide. More than likely.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know though, but I'm guessing there was probably definitely some Space Marine on Space Marine combat.
Yeah.
But also for Istvan 3, I forget what their race was. Isvanian?
They were human. The Istvan's people was human.
Okay, so
Isvanians then. The Isvanians had built a bunch of secret bunkers that the loyalist Astartes used to protect themselves. Not all of them got in there, but
I
that
believe
scene broke my fucking heart.
I believe that the Death Guard, World Eaters, and Emperor's Children had to use the bunkers. The Sons of Horus Strike Force was so far underground it didn't matter.
Yeah. Though the Death Guard Dreadnought breaks my heart every fucking time.
As I sit
There's
here.
there's an Emperor's Children one that survives it. and
Yeah,
he's, like, on the
Rylanor.
planet
Yeah.
for like another couple hundred years.
Whereas it's like,
Yeah, Rylanor is God. Okay. So for those that don't know, there's a very famous song on YouTube where it depicts the story of Rylanor, and it's a very good song, very well produced song, everything.
oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
That's not what happens in the short story.
No.
There's
No.
no.
Great story.
So, for those that don't know, Rylanor was a Terran-born Marine who got interred within a dreadnought, and he was a part of, like, Fulgrim's inner circle kind of a thing. But,
Ancient of Rights.
yeah, the Ancient of Rights. So he's like the guy who would decide who got deployed where, kind of a thing.
Well, also, if I remember correctly, from not Horus Rising, the third book from
Galaxy in
when
Flames.
Yeah, Galaxy in Flames. He also mentions, like, he overlooks the recruitment and, like, approves, hey,
Yeah.
you're gonna make a good Space Marine and shit.
Yeah, you're gonna make a good Emperor's Children. So, why does Rylanor, who's a part of Fulgrim's inner circle, get sent down to Istvan 3 to die? He swaps places with Saul Tarvitz. Because Saul's
Wasn't
like...
supposed to.
Because there was an officer, a part of Eidolon's command squad, who died. And Saul, who's not a good liar, by the way, like, shimmies up to Rylanor and says, hey, so, me and that guy were really close friends, and I feel like a dick. Like, I would feel awful if I didn't take his place and, like, you know, do his duties and such. And Rylanor just turns his head, realizes that Saul Tarvitz has something else planned, and goes, yeah, okay, that sounds reasonable. And switches places with Saul. And so Rylanor gets sent down, betrayal happens, he makes it through the entire thing, and then we don't know what happened to him for a good long while, because his story literally ends with the Loyalists getting a palace dropped on them. Literally.
Okay. I do have a question when it comes to Rylanor.
What's up?
If they came back to pick up Loken, why didn't they get his Rylanor's signal? Because he had that signal going for 10,000 years.
I don't know why they didn't pick him up.
So
Yes,
this
They
James
would have gotten
Swallow.
that signal as well. They should have.
so
What's
I
up with
could-
their
I'm
will?
guessing because James Swallow wasn't aware of that plot point.
Yeah, James
Probably
Swallow
not.
wasn't aware.
yeah, I was about to say there was definitely miscommunication.
Oh,
on,
in the early days, yes, very much.
Yes.
like
There was a lot of paranoia going around.
Didn't the majority of the Loyalist Death Guard die in the initial bombing of Istvan? No.
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 1/3 of the Loyalists died. 1/3, and that's only
Wow.
because they couldn't make it to the bunkers in time.
Why am I getting like a serious deja vu from that question?
I don't know, but so the story of Rylanor goes: Thousand Sun group, like this is modern Thousand Suns, by the way, so like their rubrics already happened, everything. A exalted sorcerer and a squad of rubrics pop up on Istvan because they get a sonic signal. And they're curious as to why it's going off. So they follow the signal all the way to a hangar that Saul Tarvitz mentioned near the end of Galaxy in Flames, the third Horse Heresy book. And in there, they find the ancient Rylanor, who's just kind of sitting there in a state of disrepair. And they're just like, so is this like a loyalist Emperor's Children dreadnought who, like, finally kicked the bucket? And turns out, no, Rylanor is still very much alive. And
still very pissed.
oh yeah, he's angry. He wakes up and goes, "Who the fuck are you?" "Oh, I'm Thousand Son, whoever the fuck. This is my squad." And he realizes that he has to start lying or telling half-truths, because if this guy catches on that they're traitors, he's gonna shoot them. And trust me, you do not want to be on the receiving end of a dreadnought. But
Which actually leads to one of my favorite parts of the song.
yeah, so Rylanor does tell them, "I know you're fucking lying to me, and the only reason you're not dead is because I could give less of a shit if you're here." And of course, like, then the question becomes, okay, then who are you trying to get over here? "Oh, I'm trying to bring out something much more dangerous than you guys." And of course, enter Fulgrim.
Yeah.
And of course, like, Fulgrim's fully ascended demon prince. He's talking a lot of mad shit. Basically like, "Aw, look at you, Rylanor, you rusted piece of shit."
You've gotten old. Ew.
Oh, but hey, I'll do you a favor there, old buddy, old pal of mine. You had 10,000 years to think about what the fuck you wanted to say to me. So what you gotta say, buddy? And Rylanor, of course, reveals, "Hey, I got a virus bomb here.
Which I want to know how we got that.
I'm gonna be honest. Someone probably fucked up and brought one down with them that didn't go off.
Or the Estavanians had their
the
own."
The last time anyone has been on Isvan 3 was when they came to pick up Loken.
I like to think, like, the Estavanians had one on, like, reserve.
Which also
Like
makes
part of their
sense.
nuclear arsenal? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would
I can
guess
see
that. It's a secret, it's like a secret hangar and armory, so.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's the Great Crusade. They would have like horrible doomsday weapons as like their like weapons of last resort kind of thing.
Yeah, so I don't know what Rylanor's plan here was. Because, like, the bomb would destroy Fulgrim's physical body, but it wouldn't
Like,
kill him.
He's made up of warp stuff now.
Yeah.
Like,
To be fair, I
Well,
don't think
Rylanor-
Rylanor would know
so
that.
I was gonna say Rylanor wouldn't know anything about demons.
Yeah,
Actually, would know nothing about demons.
Like, hindsight, like, this wouldn't have done anything. But, so, how it plays out in the
he
song...
probably thought Fulgrim had just turned into a mutant.
So, how a lot of people think this battle turns out is that Rylanor gets up and starts fighting Fulgrim after activating the bomb, because the Thousand Sons that are in the room just kind of watching a father-son spat.
Yeah, they don't really do anything.
They don't want to die, so the one sergeant, like the Thousand Sons rubric sorcerer, is holding like the explosion back with a force field, and the exalted sorcerer is like, "Oh god, take my power!" Because, like, they're both trying to make sure they don't die. Well,
If that thing detonates, we're all fucked.
well, as Rylanor and Fulgrim in the song are fighting it out. In the actual story, how it actually plays out is that the bomb fails, Fulgrim is mocking Rylanor, and then, like, takes Rylanor out of the disrepair Contemptor Dreadnought and starts basically molding his flesh and shaping it however he likes, trying to tell him, "Hey, I can make you whole again. I can make you better than how you were." And of course, Rylanor tells him to fuck
I'm already
off.
perfect, bitch.
I was already perfect. It's you who failed. And the argument goes back and forth. And at this point, the Exalted Sorcerer, he's just like, there's no way out of this situation. There's no way out of here. And he feels bad for Rylanor. because Rylanor didn't deserve this. It's basically like, there's a really funny comic where what everyone thinks happened is that the Thousand Sun guy's like, fuck you, Fulgrim, Rylanor's the coolest guy ever, and then like they like puts on the shades, blows the Rubric Marine's brains out, both Rylanor and him die, and Fulgrim and like the Slaanesh get spanked. What actually happens? Wow, you're such a fucking dickhead. I guess someone's got to kink shame you, and lets like the explosion kill everybody. That's basically what happened. That's the story of Rylanor. Now, the story does end revealing that Rylanor did something to Fulgrim that Fulgrim can never recover from, and that's the fact that Fulgrim again failed to turn another person to chaos.
The mental game.
It's two prominent failures. Because
He's really kind of bad at that.
yeah, he really sucks at it.
You know, Fulgrim, for someone who claims they're perfect, you fuck up a lot.
So this may be off topic. Is there a word bearer's dreadnought called the Anchorite who was turned against the traitors during the heresy? Ooh, yeah. No, there is a loyalist word bearer's dreadnought. I just don't remember his story all that well.
I don't think it's the Anchorite.
I mean, there's also the Marigal, which is like very much not a loyalist, and it's cool.
The Anchorite is a name taken by a word bearer's contemptor dreadnought who has rejected the demonic teachings of Primarch Lorgar and embraced the worship of the God Emperor.
So yes.
You learned something new.
He was killed in the he was killed during the final battle on
Terra, probably.
No, he makes it through the
Elf?
Great Crusade. He does die though.
Oh.
Yeah, he dies in late M41.
Wow.
He makes it a long time. Fuck Emperor's Children. I play Emperor's Children, and I agree. Yeah, we suck.
Okay, if he survives the heresy, where does he get cycled into? Like,
Inquisition, probably.
yeah, okay, yeah, Death Watch probably, yeah, eventually.
Or just an Inquisitor picks him up and just...
Oh yeah, free
They
dreadnought.
just pass him around. Or he finds one of those not so secret chapters and just pretends to be one of them.
I was gonna say, no, Cotias, it's my turn with the dreadnought.
Oh, he was so he was imprisoned in the Odo Acer system on the world of Almis.
Never heard of it.
Yep. It's in a book called The Apocalypse Novel.
It's probably if they're storing a space marine, it's probably a prison planet.
It's a Ecclesiarchy world, actually.
Ah,
Well,
interesting.
He also is one of the main... He also wrote many of the main scripture of the modern Lectitu Divinitatus.
Oh. Yeah, they're putting him to work.
Yep.
It's like, hey, bitch.
I
You're
heard-
gonna stay here, eat our food. You're gonna work for us now.
I've heard theories on...
I'm not imagining a Contemptor dreadnought holding a quill pen.
it's a giant feather and everything. And
Yeah.
it's just like... And so on the day of his birth, dip, 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 the Emperor the Emperor's first words were dip, 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 dip. with fucking Euphrates Keeler just trying to sleep in the other room.
No, Euphrates sitting next to him, helping him write.
Dip, 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 dip. And she's like doing she's doing like chapter 2, and it's just like writing her own thing. And so he said unto tip 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 tip, and they do it at one point. It's at the same time. But I've heard theories on that's why Fulgrim looks a lot more screwed up for his new model in comparison to Horus Heresy. No,
That's just Slanesh corruption.
that's just a 10,000 year difference.
Yeah, it's just 10,000 years of Slanesh.
Listen, someone who's lived about like 10 years in the desert is going to look very different from somebody who's lived 10 years in the tundra. Like, there's going to be
whiter than the other.
One's going to be very whiter than the other, and one's going to look more aged, because the sun and the rougher terrain of a desert is going to make you look more aged.
Actually, it depends on the tundra. You might not necessarily look that much whiter. You probably look a lot redder and a lot more ruddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fact about tundra and snow. Is that it's like for Antarctica, they have to wear shades when they go outside during the day because it can blind them.
Yep.
It's why they built. It's why natives in the area made the goggles out of bone, where it's the little tiny.
There are no
slits.
natives in Antarctica, Shadow.
Not Antarctica, fucking other locations.
You're thinking of Alaska, like Siberia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm
Antarctica
tired,
is
dude.
famous for having no.
I
So it's more his
slept
new model
for
shows the effects
3
of sunshine.
hours today for the first time in over 200 hours. I am fucked mentally.
So I know someone that worked on an Antarctic base, and it was a research station. No, it was a research station, and they were down there doing core analysis and things like that.
also, chat,
And
I just want to
when
let you all know, we do have new emotes.
One of the cool things they told me about the base is that like literally the base itself walks like 5 feet a week because it has to. It's on
Yep.
legs that move incredibly slowly.
Also, most of the research stations all have private chefs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's more his model shows the effects of Slanesh long term. Yeah, that's the thing about all the Demon Primarchs. The Ascended models, they're going to look a lot more closer to their 30k counterparts, more to than to their 40k. 40k Demon Primarchs show the long time ramifications of what they did and what they became. Have guys read the new Space Sharks novel that released last month? It's really good. I didn't know Space Sharks got a new model. Well, new book.
Our Caradon's got a new book.
There's only the 3 that I'm aware of.
Nope. Concordons, Void Exile.
No, what's it about? What's the?
When Chaos Force is led
Synopsis.
by Dodagnost Voldyre, a dread disciple of Vashtor the Archithane, attacks the Forge World of Diamantis, Baelshar and the Concordon's third company must come in from the cold and take up arms with the Adeptus Mechanicus to drive back the heretics.
Ooh. I'm interested in it because I want to see that interaction between the Carcardons and the Mechanicus. That seems like it'd be fun. But Will,
Was Data Nosk that fucking warpsmith that found that one moon?
I think so.
I'll look it up.
But Will, I tried getting placed on because it's usually the U.S. military that delivers a lot of their supplies to at least the U.S. stations and also a lot of the British stations. But I tried getting on one of those flights because I wanted to go down to Antarctica for a summer. But you have to be in the Air Force to do that, unfortunately. I really considered switching to the Air.
No, it's not the same guy. Shit. Aw, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I always like it, like when characters from other shit shows up.
Here's the problem here, Ghost of Gaming. Unless it was announced on Warhammer Community that this book was coming out, I didn't fucking see it.
I would have seen it, and I didn't say anything. Like I don't like them as a chapter. I do really like their books. So
if anyone in the group would have known that it would have been me, and I didn't even know. So
I've gotten into reading the Carcharodon books, but like,
And
not enough.
I used to like the Congartons, and then I got out of my edgy phase. And I don't enjoy them anymore.
I
Yo, the way you said that, for me and T come under a fucking
No,
bus.
I didn't mean to imply
Yeah.
it like that. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
You're fine. I just.
Oh, no, I agree with you. They
throwing
are-
both of us under a fucking bus.
They are like Kirito levels of edgy.
I wouldn't
but-
say they're Kirito. I wouldn't say they're Kirito. Kirito, terms of edgy, is just like, I wear black and I act depressed and I try to not look like the main character, but I am the main character. And like, I say I'm
Can't
not
let
that
everyone
good.
know.
Yeah, and it's that fucking, god damn it, shut the fuck up, you useless rogue.
I have to let multiple people die in this dungeon because if I tell them what my level really is, they'll rely on me. Oh.
Ah! Whereas the Concartons are just like, they're quiet. They just
Yeah.
go in, murder everything, and then leave.
Yeah, for the people watching the stream, their books is like half of them is just silence. Them just sitting in silence,
It's
Like,
not doing
not
anything.
fun to read
In
for
ships-
me.
like the Red
ships-
Wake
in
book,
ships filled with,
listening to
like,
it isn't bad.
In like ships filled with water as well.
Space Marine books are already really fucking hard to read. They're really fucking hard because they're really fucking boring.
It depends on the writer.
It depends on the writer, honestly, yeah. But, like, a lot of the time, you know what makes Space Marines interesting? When they have other people that aren't Space Marines to bounce off of.
Or like that one Marine in the Dante book that never fucking appears again.
Yeah.
I
still mad about
was
that.
gonna say case in point, Spears of the Emperor,
Yeah.
which has human characters.
And why is a lot of the Horse Heresy books more interesting than a lot of modern 40k books? It's because the legions were very different.
Humans everywhere.
And there's humans everywhere. They have people to bounce off of. And when you have two legions engaging with one another in a more personal fight, like, best example for me is No Fear, with the Ultramarines bouncing off the Word Bearers, it's because it's the, what's that thing about the bomb? What's
What?
the...
It's the oh yeah, the can't remember his name, director.
Hitchcock's bomb.
Hitchcock. Yeah, Hitchcock's quote about the
Hitchcock.
if you have two characters talking for 10 minutes and then a bomb goes off, you have 10 minutes of boredom punctuated by surprise. If you show the bomb under the table and then have 10 minutes of dialogue, you have created tension.
Yeah. Because No Fear is written with the expectation that you, the reader, know what the Word Bearers are doing, and you're hoping the Ultramarines figure it the fuck out before it's too late.
Or Istvan.
Or Istvan.
Galaxy in Flames.
Yeah, the entire...
You know Istvan's coming.
Actually, rereading that book right now with my wife, there is a point in the book where I'm like, Loken, get it through your fucking head. Please!
Isn't the first part of it literally called The Night of the Long Knives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's a scene where
Which-
he finds a demonic book.
40k making a Holocaust reference was wild for me.
Oh yeah.
It's not quite a it's not quite a it's the purge of the party, but like the Holocaust came later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Night of the Long Knives. That's
No,
a
you're thinking-
direct reference.
You're thinking Crystal Nacht, which is the Night of Broken Glass.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking of.
The Night of the Long Knives is when the Nazi Party under Hitler and Goering purged basically the socialist and left wing parts of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Similar concept, just two different people.
reading
Two different
the
groups of
third
people.
book, getting back to what I was actually trying to talk about here.
Yeah.
There's
sorry.
a scene
Sorry.
where Loken finds a demonic book. He goes into the Strategium, finds
yeah.
this demonic book, has a fucking nightmare vision. By the way, also implying like if he had to fall to a chaos god, he'd fall to Khorne.
Also, having a conversation with their the Interex's military commander, the head of their entire military, is talking to him about, oh, we thought you were like chaos demon worshippers. Like, what's that? And he starts explaining it.
He knows what's going on. Like, Loken at this point knows what's going on. He knows there's something fucky. Chat, on a four question, multiple choice, you get 4 choices. What does Loken do? Raise the alarm about a demonic book and could easily show it off to a whole group of people to start fucking up shit within the Sons of Horus. 2, brings it...
Alert the Interex. I was gonna say number 2. Alert the Interex.
No, the Interex are dead by this point. The Interex are dead.
Oh shit! Yeah.
2, inform his closest allies about what's going on and find a way to escape. 3, go on a one-man suicide mission. So that way, like, oh, why did Captain Loken go fucking nuts all of a sudden? Or 4, talk to Abaddon in private and try to convince Abaddon that, hey, we need to stop this. Which one do you think he chose, chat?
The man that was implicated in everything going on.
Which one do you think he chose, chat?
He
Yes.
could also
Abaddon.
probably would have. I was gonna say he probably would have had more success had he went with Little Horse.
Yeah, he would have had so much better luck with Little Horus, because Little
Or even
Horus,
fucking Targaden.
no, Targon was on his side.
Well, if him and
Targaden didn't
Targaryen
know
were
at that
all-
point though.
No, he okay.
Yeah,
it's-
but Tarek has his back.
yeah, it's a whole thing, but he basically like goes up to Abaddon, and Abaddon's like, okay, why the fuck you call me here? And Logan's like, I found this in the Strategium. You want to tell me what's going on here, motherfucker? And Abaddon's just like, you sided against us at Davin. Fuck you. You don't get to know. And like, it is implied like Abaddon is dangling a carrot in front of him, and it's like, if you just say sorry and take it now and get on your knees and apologize, I will take you back. Like, he's dangling that carrot in front of Loken, and Loken's just annoyed he's dangling a carrot in his face. He's not understanding, Loken, this is your one chance to turn back before I fucking murder you. But Loken's an idiot and can't read subtext. So it's just like...
I wouldn't say he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
I wouldn't say he's an idiot. I would, however, say he's blinded to his brothers potentially being the problem.
It's so frustrating.
Mhm.
Yeah, Little Horse
But
was
he's
very
not an idiot.
Little Horse was very conflicted, wasn't he? He wasn't conflicted, he was uncomfortable. He did not mind, like, he was okay with the rebellion. He didn't like that he had to kill Tarek and Loken himself. Like, he didn't like that he had to go do that. It is one thing to kill a faceless private in your army. It's another thing to kill the guys who you laughed with, who you shared very intimate parts of your life with, people who were your friends, those you considered your brothers.
These are the men you have sat and fought beside with for decades, if not centuries.
Yeah, and to Little Horus Aximand, killing Loken and Torgodden, it was necessary to do in his eyes, but he didn't want to be the one to carry it out. But then he was forced to. Now, if you're wondering what Abaddon's opinion of it was, I don't fucking care. They're traitors. They betrayed us. I'm more than willing to stick a claw through them. Abaddon, like, reading the room, holy shit, they had two very different opinions. Like, when it gets to the battle between Loken, Tarek, Aximand, and Abaddon, Loken can tell that Aximand is, like, just turning off his emotions, clearly telling, like, he's not comfortable being here, and Abaddon's just like, come on, guys! It's the pits of Chthoniya! Let's go!
Oh, actually, one of my favorite reactions to finding out the heresy has started is Valdor's, actually.
Ooh, Constantine Valdor?
Yeah.
What about it?
Basically, it was just like, huh. I guess we're doing this early.
Huh. Guess that plan popped off early. Shit. Wish we had some time to prepare.
Starting early.
I like the bit I like the thing from the trailer where he's talking about the stained glass window, and he's just like,
oh yeah.
I don't quite understand why he made this. Like, he's talking to the Emperor. It's like, this window doesn't make sense, like, logically.
It doesn't really do anything. Like, it's not really very aesthetic with the rest of the palace. Like, what the fuck?
No.
It implies something that you don't do, Emperor. And what's that? Love.
Love your subjects.
Love your children.
But yeah, like,
Not his children.
to let you all know, like, Aximand later in the heresy, he's not conflicted about the betrayal. It's just that, again, he's uncomfortable with killing those he was closest to.
Yeah.
Like, a big part of his character leading up to the Siege of Terra is that he's haunted by what he did. And then, like, he keeps having dreams about someone coming to kill him. And he doesn't know who it is. And then he starts realizing, like, oh, we should get the Monorval back together. We should make a new Monorval. And then he goes up to Abaddon's like, hey, we should remake it. And Abaddon's just like, why? Because, you know, it would help me feel more comfortable. And we should be like giving Horus advice again. And Abaddon's like,
I don't give a shit if you're comfortable.
Abaddon does say, like, fine, we'll make it again. But the idea is that you're supposed to have, like, the four faces to be giving advice. But Abaddon just chooses, what's his name? The leader of the Widowmakers. He chooses that guy.
Oh, what's his name? I don't remember. God damn you.
Yeah,
Falcus
it's also
Kyber.
the problem is they're not. I was gonna say they're not the four humors either.
Yeah, they're not the four humors either.
But
But
they don't have a Loken.
Yeah.
They don't have anyone to tell them, hey, this is a bad idea.
yeah,
We shouldn't do this.
it ends up backfiring massively. Because he does, like, Aximand does try to find somebody who is actually knowing what he's doing. He chooses a guy called Grail Noctua, but he gets fucking lobotomized. And so, like, his
Immediately.
body gets possessed by the demon Tormageddon, so ooh, fun.
All the names are just too similar. Tormageddon.
Well, Tormageddon is literally a demon made from Torgadon's, like,
Yeah.
corrupted soul. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I know, but still.
But yeah, then when after he makes the Monorvol, the nightmare reveals itself, and it's Loken. The nightmare reveals itself to be Loken, and Aximan goes, "Oh, I shouldn't be scared of you. You're dead." And then you know how the horse heresy plays out. Loken's not. He's not dead.
Not quite as dead as you thought, bitch.
And by the way, Aximan's story ends with him surviving the Imperial Fist underground ambush during the Siege of Terra, and running into the Emperor's palace, finding Lan, the guy they named the Land Raider after, and demands, like, hey, tell me where, like, the most important places are inside the palace so I can go fuck those up. And Lan's just like, why the fuck would I ever tell you that? I'm more scared of the Custodians and what they'll do to me than you just killing me.
It's not mentioned in any of the Custodians books. Did they eventually find the Alpha Legionnaires that are buried underneath the palace?
No, but
So they're
John
probably still alive.
John dealt with it. John dealt with it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, so they've just been stuck down there for 10,000 years.
They were given a horrible death.
Yeah, they.
To be fair, or
Big-
I was gonna say to be fair, John dealt with it is kind of like how they wrap up a lot of bullet points in the heresy.
John dealt with it. But so
Umar?
Loken does find Torgodden, like, Aximan terrorizing Lan, and the two do get their duel, and Loken comes out on top, beheading, like, doing the same thing that Aximan did to Torgodden.
I love that.
I believe with the sword as well.
Yeah, with the sword. What happens to Tubal Mar in the Horus Heresy? Ooh, who the fuck? I need to remember who's that. I'm sorry, I gotta remember, like, a ton of names.
Do you know how many fucking characters are in Horus Heresy? You're fine. There's more characters than there are in Game of Thrones somehow.
Oh, Tybalt Mar. He dies.
Because, you know, the 40k writers are actually able to finish a fucking series.
Tybalt Mar dies in the underground ambush by Loken. Loken kills the Monorvol, mostly. He kills Tybalt Mar and Aximan, but I think Falcus Kyber is killed by Garo, and Abaddon is pushed the fuck back by Sigismund, with the help of Garo and Loken.
The original fight, who was the one that got hit by a Land Raider?
The original
Or was
fight?
it Rhino? On his fan.
Oh, that would be...
Karn gets impaled on a rhino.
Yeah. Because Loken just straight up grabs him, lifts him up, and slams him down on it.
Also, because they obviously didn't know where the fuck they were going with the heresy at the time, he's already fallen to Korn at that point.
Yeah. It's funny.
It kind of makes
Apparently.
sense for him.
No, it doesn't.
It's so funny.
He's admitted that he went, like Arndemsky Bowden's admitted, yeah, it's a retcon, but he, like, hasn't fallen to Korn by the end.
The retcon in Warhammer? What?
Oh no!
I
I still think we
Okay.
should give Karn a second kill counter to see what happens.
So...
And set,
Karn,
and
this is
set
pro-
it and set it at
Karn.
0, so the numbers are different too.
I'm just imagining like a Thousand Sun, like a warp smith, like working on his armor and going, so my Lord Karn, I've unlocked this new feature. It's called New Game Plus.
Oh, guys, check out this new game mode I unlocked called New Game Plus.
I've killed everything in the galaxy several times over. I need a challenge again.
Of Katsuhiro.
Literally, the plot resolves in the new one, Era of Ruin.
Oh, yeah.
I've just read it.
Yeah, so... This is the only person who gets the fucking happy ending.
Yep.
They show up at the start of the Siege of Terra.
As
And...
much a happy ending as possible in 40k.
It's
Uh,
fairly good. Like it.
Basically, chat, we follow this guardsman around. He finds an orphan and he starts like making sure that that orphan and him survive. And they survive. They're like one of the very few human elements within the Siege of Terra series. And they make it to the end, and their story is basically, hey, what happens
sucks.
now?
Also, technically, what's her name? The first provost marshal. She technically gets a happy ending. She gets to retire to a farm at the base of the imperial city.
Yeah. It is. It's one of those. That short story is basically, hey, what happens after a big war like that? And it's pretty mundane. You just kind of go on living your life.
Yeah.
It's a happy ending.
I mean, you can't really go back to living your own life. It's kind of hard
It's
to do
kind
that.
of it's that thing where he is basically like told, right, you're not a soldier anymore.
Yep.
You know, on you go. It's literally that like thing of like, wait, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah. Well,
It's
you have to
like,
figure it out.
And the Imperium's like, yeah, we don't care.
I mean, that's every military on the
Anyway.
fucking planet, but
It is very weird. But there was another character in that book that also finally got his story to end. And it was a loyalist word bearer.
Mm-hmm.
And that book, and like, you read his story, and it's just like, wow, this guy like went all over the galaxy trying to kill Lorgar. Hey, chat. This guy, this word bearer, he is a secret loyalist inside the word bearers, whose entire goal is to try and kill Lorgar, and he like gets stuck on a fucking quest to get the same kind of weapon that wounded Horus on Davin. And he does eventually get it, and once he gets it, he's like, okay, now we go to Terra to kill Lorgar.
yeah.
The literal same time he says this, Lorgar just got banished from the Horus Heresy. He got kicked
wants to
out of the
find
rebellion.
Anathema, which
So
good luck finding one of those.
this guy spends months on Terra trying to find Lorgar, murdering traitors wherever he can find them. And guess who he runs into? I want you to take a fucking guess who this asshole runs into.
Horus?
No,
Is it a Primarch?
no, it's not Primarch. I made a very
Custodes?
long rant about him.
Does he run into a Custodes?
No.
Euphrates Keeler?
Nope.
No, he runs into everyone's favorite word bearer.
No.
He runs
Yep.
into Erebus.
And he doesn't use the dagger that can kill anyone.
Let's put it this way, chat. This loyalist word bearer, he not only survived the Shadow Crusade, he not only survived chasing down the Salamanders, not only did he survive the Siege of Terra, he's responsible for the death of the Cabal. You remember that plot point, right, chat? The plot point that brought the Alpha Legion into it?
God, the fucking Cabal.
Yeah.
That was such bullshit. I
He
hated
killed them for Eldrad. He fought off fucking Harlequins. This guy went all over the place only for Erebus to pop up at the end and be like, hey, you're no longer playing a fucking Bandai Namco game, asshole. You're playing Dark Souls. I'm your fucking wall. And then proceeds to get his shit rocked by Erebus and then gets killed. It's just like, well, that's anticlimactic as fuck. Am I angry?
Also, according
Yes.
to Black Library, they're called anathane daggers, and I disagree with this greatly.
Oh? Did you like Fulgurite?
It's spelled. No, it's spelled anathema.
Yeah, because it's supposed
But
to
it's
be an anathema.
pronounced anathema. It
Yeah.
annoys me too. Don't worry, Will.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
It's like how they insist on pronouncing Gilliman's name.
it's annoying. Did Ingo Peck ever get found? Fuck. You keep pulling up names, and my brain's just like, I gotta remember so many names.
Yes.
Oh, Ingo Peck.
Yeah, Tunis, we're sorry, but there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of 40k characters. It is impossible to keep track of them all.
No, well, I don't think he ever got found.
I bet GW has a spreadsheet of like where all the characters are at any given moment in the timeline.
There's an email chain.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, lol. No, like,
You're good.
oh, was he the guy that John ran into? Like, John and his Argonauts ran into? In Death of the End Part 1?
I don't think so.
Say it's Thyme- I was gonna say it's Thyme's Argonauts, isn't it? It's not John's. It's Oles. John is just there because he has to be.
Also, what is it with sci-fi writers and bringing back the Argonauts?
It's cool.
They had a thing during Homer, but they aren't.
Look, your favorite Primarch is literally named after a reference to a drunken wizard fight in London.
Together, the group now dubbed by John as the Argonauts. It was John that did it.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, but my guy's actually cool.
I mean, the real one wasn't, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
I do.
They find Actea in a space for identifying himself as Alfarius.
Of course they do.
Acquire with Narvis Flighter, the flew to the Imperial Palace across Terra's ravaged landscape. However, they come across the line, they got shot down. With the depths of the secret entrance to the palace, John learned that this Alfarius was actually Ingo Peck. It is Peck! It is Peck! Okay, that is the Alpha Legion from the Alpha Legionnaire book. Oh my god, okay, my brain's like, oh, that's the guy who, like, found him originally. Yeah!
I forgot they
He's
have
dead.
to say this Alpha Legion because there are multiple.
He's dead. He dies. So Ingo Peck was a part of the Alpha Legion infiltration of the Imperial Palace. The problem was, a character from the Wordbearers books, Acte, or Cyrene Valentian?
Valentine?
Yes.
Cyrene.
Yeah.
She was a major character in Argel Tall's story. But essentially, best way to put it is that she becomes a Scarlet Witch of 30k. And she found out about the Alpha Legion infiltration, opened up Peck's pod, and Peck's like, I shouldn't be awake right now. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna mentally dominate you now. What? And starts puppeting him around against his will.
You're mine, bitch.
And she brings him with her to John's group, and it's like, hey, we'd like to join you. Because she has a goal to go kill Erebus. And she knows where Erebus is.
It's a noble goal.
It's a noble goal. Never gonna fucking happen.
Also,
but...
also literally one of my favorite characters in the entire Horus Heresy series, to the point that I have made a model of her.
Has the appropriate reaction to being turned into a perpetual, by the way.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Ah, ah, ah. Shh, calm down, calm down. Who are you? Why can I see
Also,
again?
what the hell? I was dead. I was actually dead. I got killed by a custodes.
Yeah, it's fucked. So what ends up happening is that at one point, Peck basically is managed to resist her control a little bit because I think she falls asleep at one point. And he's just like, hey, John, how about you and I head a little bit deeper into this cave here so we can scout it out? And of course, everyone's like, don't go alone with that Alpha Legionnaire, please. But John's like, no, I know this guy. I think I know this guy. So he goes with him. They find an old excavator drill. And Peck is rummaging around through it. Finds a warp field. It's like a suppressant field or something. And essentially turns it on and tells John, like, can you come inside this drill thing here for a minute? Okay. Cool. We're both now outside of her influence and earshot. Yeah, hi, I am the guy you think I am. I am Ingo Peck. Okay, I knew that much. Okay, just to let you know, this thing is the only thing preventing me from snapping your fucking neck right now. What? Yeah, so, funny story, actually. So that bitch out there, she's a witch. Don't kill her yet, because her goal is noble. Just don't get in her fucking way. Okay? But, this whole operation is compromised. How badly compromised? There's about 10,000 Alpha Legionnaires underneath the Imperial Palace, including me. How and why? Oh, you don't think Dorn had an exit strategy who dug holes to get out of a bad situation? Holy fuck. And you guys knew about this? Yes, we did. Okay. So why'd you infiltrate 10,000 guys down here and not tell Horus? Oh, because we did this before they arrived. That attack on Pluto?
Before the heresy started.
That attack on Pluto was to distract Fleet Solar from what the Alpha Legion were actually doing. So, the Alpha Legion...
All it cost us was a Primarch. All it cost us was a Primarch.
All it cost us...
more of those.
Don't worry, we have extra of those.
The plan, as Peck reveals, is that these 10,000 Alpha Legionnaires, who are fully prepped and ready for war, are to activate upon the conclusion of the war. And now you're probably saying, like, oh, they're probably going to activate if, like, the Emperor wins. No. They activate at the end. It doesn't matter who wins.
And the death. Sorry.
Because they're there to kill whoever survives.
Yeah, so Peck reveals there's 3 orders in their head. 3 hypnotic triggers. 1 trigger is to be said if the Emperor won, which then would have all the Alpha Legionnaires kill the Loyalist survivors. The second trigger is if Horus wins, which in that case the 10,000 Alpha Legionnaires would kill all the traitor survivors. The third one is to kill everybody. The problem now becomes Cyrene activated number 3 in all of them.
We had a good run, boys.
This is kind of the sad thing about Cyrene. She's gone full pessimist. So she really wants to ensure that Erebus fucking dies. Not because Erebus is a scumfuck murderer who deserves it, but because that's a big part of it. But at the same time, like, he's not allowed to win in her mind. If both sides come out of this, whoever wins or loses, it doesn't matter. Erebus still won. She does not want him to win.
Yeah.
But it ends horribly.
Well, also, like, she does make the argument that, like, hey, things have got to shit. Humanity have gone to shit. Let's just start over.
Yeah.
And okay, so this might just be me,
I can't remember. Is she
But
one of
if-
the ones that ends up forming the Inquisition?
I think
Is she
she
one of the four?
dies. I think
Yeah, no.
I think she dies.
Well, I mean,
Because it's
technically 13, because there were a few Space Marines that joined them.
no, like the Inquisition is literally formed. The mod is formed by 4 people in the aftermath of the heresy. 4 humans. That's like and Cinderman's one of them.
4 humans. I know Cinderman was one of them. Loken also helps.
No, this is after the heresy. This is like so Loken's dead by that point.
Oh,
Okay, well, either way,
she
I
doesn't.
know a few Space Marines do.
Okay, no, she
'Cause the total
doesn't
number is
die.
13.
She doesn't die. Well, okay, she does die, but her mind
Perpetual.
melds with another person's,
Okay, fair.
and she gets found by Dorn, and she's recovered, but she's going by the name of Katerina Moriana. She teleports Alanius Pius and John into Lupercal's court, and later on she would be the one to spread the myth of Alanius Pius.
Right. Okay.
Oh, and yes,
And the
she
5
would be.
custodians who did the exact same thing because they didn't want to be shown up by a human.
You are right. She would be was a member of the Chosen Malcador during the final stage of the Siege of Terra and the Horus Heresy. She worked alongside Xanthus in facilitating the Terminus Project, taking shelter in the throne room of the Sanctus Imperialis alongside Vulcan, and subsequently became entangled in the myth of Moriana, Abaddon Seer. Her exact connection to the Witch of Moriana remains unknown. Okay. So yeah, she might... It's not clear what happens to her after. She could be the Seer Moriana, or she could be one of the founders of the Inquisition.
Yeah, because there's the ones that they take off the Titan to form the Grey Knights. Then there's Cinderman and the other 3 that found the initial Inquisition, and then 2 of them fuck off and become
Okay, well,
renegades.
I feel like I need to say this, but I am counting the Space Marines that found the Grey Knights.
Yeah,
as part of the founders.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's
But,
how I'm getting to 13.
Yeah, because there's the whole thing about like a whole bunch of them becoming essentially Emperor Resurrectionists.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember how to spell Kyril.
Kyril.
Yeah, I was literally looking at it.
He really does have like a shitty life, doesn't he?
He ends up as one of the most powerful people in the Imperium.
Not really by choice, though.
Right, he and Ahriman met at the Siege of Terra too. That shit's funny.
Yeah,
Like-
in the library.
Yeah, like, Kiril's like, I'm just gonna hide here in the library. And then fucking Ahriman's like, cool, a library!
You
And it's
know,
I love libraries.
See,
If
that's
Kira
gotta be like the
suddenly-
most unfortunate timing, though. Is you
if
think he
Kiro
found a
suddenly
decent
popped
place.
up in modern 40k, how long would it take before the Inquisition killed him?
He
Seconds.
died in, Beast Arises.
I know he dies, but I'm saying if he popped up in 40k, how long would it take before the Inquisition just murders him?
Seconds. They've literally
Not
implied that
long.
that's one
They-
of
they
they've implied
would-
that's one of the purposes of the Ordo Hereticus. The Ordo Hereticus is essentially the end point of the inquisitorial experiment, because it's as soon as you turn the apparatus of the Inquisition upon your own people, it is essentially just going to eat itself.
So
That's
the,
the-
Horus.
the 4 people that, our boy recruited was Zaranchik Xanthus, Khalid Hassan, Galliant Side Dosize, and Moriana Mohassin.
Mine has, yeah. Cinderman is one of them.
Yeah.
Like that, one of them is Cinderman with a fake name. I think it's Khalid Hassan.
It's not Kaliad.
No, it's not. He's a soldier.
Though there are other mortals ultimately instrumental in the formation of the Inquisition, such as Kirill Cinnamon and Prometheus.
Yeah.
Kirill's not one of the original 4, but he would have been... He's instrumental in it.
Yeah.
And basically, he considered himself, by his death, to be one of the founders.
Yeah. Because Xanthus buggers off.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations on what to read after Fulgrim? I don't know. Read whatever you want.
What do you like?
If you want
Yeah,
the
it's dead.
sequel to it, it is Angel Exterminatus or The Mirror Cracked.
I like Angel Exterminatus. This is so good.
I would not recommend reading The Mirror Cracked if you have a weak stomach.
If you want a lot of Perturabo beating the fuck out of people, Angel Exterminatus. That is literally all he does for like 90% of the book.
Though I am very curious now, because I forgot this whole character was a thing. Moriana. I forgot she was a whole
Why does
thing.
that name sound familiar?
She's the seer. She's the cursed seer of Abaddon the Despoiler.
Ah.
She's the only human allowed in his presence, basically.
Yep.
How she's not dead? Bugger it all.
Yeah, last time we saw her, she actually did help the Imperium by giving them the Eye of Night. And she's largely indifferent to the designs of Chaos. Basically, she could give less of a shit who she's working for.
Just keep giving just keep giving me power.
Yeah,
Don't care where it comes from.
Don't care. Don't care, didn't ask, just ask what you fucking want and leave. Fine. But yeah,
Fine. Gosh.
it's streaming for a while, so I'm gonna call it here for tonight. You all have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. And just an update, by the way, I did manage to get all the Horus Heresy recorded. So I'll begin editing that. Oh boy.
Don't worry, guys. When he gets through that in the next 6 to 8 millennia,
It's
we'll have
not
a
it's
great
not
video.
that long. It's not that long. It's like 48 recordings long. I record like my voice lines in bits. So it's only 48 voice lines.
Oh, okay. Like when you said 48 recordings, it's like your videos are like 3 minutes each, like 3, 4, 5 minutes. That's a lot.
So to compare right now, the Warhammer Open video had, where is my voice lines? Did I call it open or? Yeah. The Warhammer Open is 63 lines. And that video is 34 minutes, 35 seconds.
so we'll get another half-hour long video.
Pretty much.
Don't worry, guys. We won't have to wait as long as the Ultramarines did for good news.
Good news, everyone.
Good news,
To
everyone.
shreds, you say. Oh dear, dear, dear.
But yeah, I will talk to you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.